Hi, guys. My name is Bella, also known as Steak and Butter Gal, and we are streaming live not just on my channel, but also Healing Humanity, Carrie's channel, and Adam's channel. So, if you guys don't know who Carrie and Adam are just yet, they are changing lives and they are going to change the world with their Healing Humanity documentary. So, I really want to showcase their new trailer of the Healing Humanity documentary. But before we jump into that and reveal the trailer, I want to just share a little bit about all of our carnivore success stories. I changed my life in as little as a few months. I'll just say 5 months by stopping the vegetables. Okay. I stopped eating vegetables 6.5 years ago. And after no longer eating vegetables, I felt like my eczema, cystic acne, psoriasis, my hormone issues just naturally started healing. And so I really want to know, everyone who's watching this live stream and watching the playback, comment it, please. How long have you been a carnivore so far? I'm now 6.5 years in, and I don't think I'll ever stop. It just feels incredible. And in this Healing Humanity documentary, you will get to see just how powerful a carnivore diet is. So let me pass it off to Carrie. How long have you been carnivore so far, and what has changed your life about it?
Yeah, thank you, Bella. I am approaching 1,000 days on carnivore at the end of the year, and it's completely changed my life. It's given me a second chance at life. I had congestive heart failure, IBS, arthritis, gout in my foot. The biggest issue for me was depression and anxiety. And when I overcame that, which, if I'm thinking about it, was probably around 5 months, also similar to you, Bella. I remember around 3 weeks in the carnivore, I had this whoa moment where I'm like, I feel really good. My depression wasn't gone, but I felt really good. But several months in, my depression lifted. And that was remarkable to me. And that was kind of the passion behind doing this documentary is not only myself, I heard so many other stories of people who healed their mental health, who were on antidepressant medications like I was for 10 or 15 years, and nothing ever helped until they changed their diet. So that was the purpose of me doing the documentary in the first place, was the just incredible mental health changes people see eating a proper human diet.
I love that so much. How about you, Adam?
Yeah, so I've been carnivore a little bit longer than Carrie, almost 1,000 days now, a little over 2.5 years, and I feel the best I've ever felt in my entire life. Just had my 49th birthday, but I honestly, I feel like I'm in my 20s, physically for sure. But the profound changes that I had was, first off, 5 days in, plantar fasciitis went away, that pain that I had for 2 years. And tried all kinds of things to try to fix that, and nothing really would help it. Some things would relieve the pain just a little bit, but it persisted. And 5 days in, it was completely gone. But the most profound thing for me was 5 months into a strict carnivore diet: beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. I had a traumatic brain injury from 6 years prior to starting carnivore that I still had health complications with. I still had migraines. I still had dizziness. I still had vertigo and motor tics where my head would jerk uncontrollably. And that was healed completely within 5 months of being on a strict carnivore diet. So you could see why I was, really excited about this way of eating. And Carrie shared his story and was acting like Jojo the circus bear, super excited guy about carnivore, and he's going to start this documentary. So I was like, hey, whatever you need help with, I'm going to join with you. And here we are.
I just wanted to add, Bella, so Adam and I have since traveled all around the world filming this documentary. 60 interviews. We filmed all over Australia, all over Canada, all over the US. You become a little bit like a married couple. So when Adam says he's 100% reversed his traumatic brain injury, there's a little bit there. He's got a couple more ribeyes and he'll be 100%, but he's getting there.
I just have to say, I've been following both of your journeys ever since you both emerged and started sharing on YouTube and on social media. Both of you guys look younger, more youthful, more vibrant. I feel like your skin is more flushed. You guys both look so happy. And I am sure that this whole journey of documentary creation has only brought purpose and happiness and more community to your life? What has been the most rewarding thing about creating this documentary so far?
That's a great question. Seeing the stories of healing, you hear one or two every now and then, but after filming 60 interviews all over the world, it never gets old, and some of them are just so remarkable. The first person we filmed, for example, was Bill Knott in Alaska. He was 700 pounds, stuck in his house for nearly 5 years. His story has been really impactful for me because you would think that losing the weight, starting at 700 pounds, as of right now, he's just about half the man he used to be. He's down almost 350 pounds, which is incredible and amazing, but he's more excited about the fact that he overcame depression, anxiety, eating a carnivore diet. So seeing his story and seeing him get out in the freedom of Alaska after being trapped in his house for nearly 5 years has been one of the most remarkable things. And then seeing also the ripple effect of sharing these stories. I shared my own story on my YouTube channel, and we're sharing other stories through the documentary, but seeing how that ripples out to other people and spreads, you don't see that with anything else in the world. So that's been particularly rewarding and inspiring for me.
I love that. How about you, Adam?
Likewise, one thing that really fires me up is every time we show like a private showing of some of the footage that we've cut, or even just the trailers themselves in private, every single time somebody that hasn't seen or heard of carnivore is inspired by the work that we've been able to put together to start carnivore like right then. So that's that to me says that we're on the right track and we're doing all the right things. And it's not necessarily us, but it's just the profound changes that somebody can get by eating such a simple diet.
Enough talk. Let's watch this new trailer.
All right. I just want to preface it with a little bit. We've done, this is our second trailer. There's going to be a third. We're completely finished filming the documentary. Our last interview, our 60th interview, was appropriately Dr. Sean Baker, who's incredible. So we're done filming. We're on the home stretch. We're editing through the end of the year, and the documentary will be out early 2026. The purpose of this trailer we're about to show you right now was to show the scope and scale of the project, the fact that we filmed 60 people all over the world. We've had a lot of generous supporters and donators on GoFundMe, and we wanted to show them, like, we've been all over the place. Like, this is bigger. A lot of people heard about Bill early on, and they didn't realize everything we've done. So I guess with that said, here we go. I'll roll the trailer.
When I walk into a grocery store and see thousands of items on the shelf, that does not register in my brain as food. And of course it's not. This has never been food to any human being for the entirety of human history.
We've been soaking up the wrong information for so long.
Everything I thought I knew about nutrition turned out to be wrong. And it doesn't take that long to figure it out if you look at the actual science.
Your body, even though you feel like it betrayed you years ago, you actually betrayed it.
I was following the rules and getting sicker for it.
I was hopeless. I was really hopeless, and I thought, yeah, this is the way it's gonna be.
I don't think I would have made it. I honestly don't. I mean, I was 69 pounds, almost hooked up to a feeding tube.
I probably had 30 days left until I was dead.
My thought was, I'm gonna die, and I'm not gonna have a chance to tell everybody that I love them one last time.
That's just more pills and more pills and more pills and more sickness and more disease.
I look at people now on the street and I see them not doing well, and I just wonder what the food that they're eating is doing to them.
We're learning from our past way of eating that somehow we're damaged and diseased.
I want to live in a world where every doctor is not managing disease, but trying to get to the root cause of why people are sick in the first place.
That's what being a doctor's all about, isn't it? Being able to take somebody who's got no hope and give them hope. And it's a real hope. It's a true hope. It's not a false hope. I'm not interested in any other profession.
There you go, right in my face. Perfect.
I just remember being so excited about being alive again.
Changing my diet, like, absolutely saved my life. plain and simple, I would not be here today.
I have my life back.
It was like with a new lens, new eyes, was using them for the first time.
Even though I'm 5.5 years in, I still wake up feeling impressed.
I felt the best I ever felt in my life.
I never thought I'd have a life. I really thought my life was over. And if I hadn't have found this lifestyle, that I would not be sitting here with you today. No way.
I'm 82 years old, which is just a chronological number.
Pull yourself up, you swing your leg over, and you're over.
It's not healthcare, it's sick care. We don't need doctors if we're eating properly. We don't need medication. Wow. It looks so good. When is it coming out?
Well, thank you for your nice words. We appreciate it. This was our first documentary we've worked on. I always like to remind people of that, but it's our aim. Adam, do you want to talk a little bit when it's coming out?
So we are aiming to have the edit completed by the end of the year. And then we're going to start working on marketing and distribution. So sometime in 2026, people will be able to watch this. I don't want to cuss, come heck or high water, right? It's coming out in 2026. So
Amazing.
Yeah,
and what, oh, sorry, go ahead, Carrie.
I was going to say, it's probably going to be a hybrid release where our goal isn't to profit off of this. Our goal is to make it as accessible as possible and reach as many people as possible. So we're hoping to get it on a big streaming service. We're hoping to get it in the movie theater for a little bit, then a big streaming service, and then accessible to as many people as possible. But we filmed so much that, and part of this was us doing our first documentary, but I'm excited for the main documentary. I just wanted to mention we're also doing a series afterwards, a Healing Humanity series, where we'll have an episode for every major health issue. And so if you have a loved one that's going through type 2 diabetes or depression or anxiety or cancer, they'll be able to have a whole dedicated episode. And then after that, we hope to do an episode on each individual, starting with the doctors that were in the documentary. So if you really like Dr. Baker, like we do, we'll have a whole episode on Dr. Baker. So yeah, we're excited for that as well.
And so for those who are watching this and just discovered Carnivore and this documentary all in one day, what can we do as a community all together online to support this documentary and to spread the word? What are some things?
The best thing I tell people is share your story. Your story has the power to inspire someone to change their life. I learned about this from Dante Ferrigno sharing his story. The stories are so powerful. Share your story online, share it with your friends and family. As Dr. Baker said when we interviewed him, be an example to your family. That's one of the best things you can do. In terms of helping us with the documentary, we don't make money off of this. This is entirely a passion project. It's all crowdfunded. And so if you enjoyed the trailer and you want to help, the best thing you can do is share the trailer. It's freely available. It's at healinghumanity.life. We sell our shirts too. Every penny from the shirts goes 100% towards our documentary, but it's been a passion project. And we're hoping that if we can keep things going, we can continue to do this series going forward.
Fantastic. So we're going to take some questions so that we can help all the new carnivores watching this live stream. I know I get plenty every time I go live. Drop your questions for Carrie, Adam, and I already see one here. I don't know if you're able to put it on the screen, but if not, no worries. I don't think I can click, but I'll read it first and we can all share our thoughts. If you guys submit your questions with a capital Q, it's easier for me to find it. Okay, Marla says, Bella, where is a good place to start with histamine intolerance? Let me first check with Carrie and Adam. Have any of you guys dealt with histamine intolerance when going carnivore?
I have not. Have you, Adam?
I did have a little bit of histamine intolerance for sure. And what helped me was Lynn DeVokie that's on our team. And we filmed her for the documentary as well. She has major or did have major histamine issues. She actually has a video on her YouTube channel, Midlife Carnivore, that's all about carnivore and histamine foods, because some people think that just going carnivore is going to fix things, but there's some potential roadblocks and issues they could have with high histamine foods within carnivore. So that definitely helped me out.
Beautiful. I agree with Adam. It takes some time to heal the histamine intolerance, and you just need to be more aware and sensitive, work around the intolerance for a little bit, but it does eventually heal, and you can go back to eating all types of meats, aged, high histamine, low histamine, you're going to be good to go. Try to aim for low histamine foods. So what that means is don't eat the aged cheese, don't eat the prosciutto or the aged meat sticks. You are going to have to stick with fresh, best if it's flash frozen as well, non-aged, non-hung types of meats. So good thing we actually have a lot of farmers who support a low histamine carnivore diet now. And the top ones that I order from and recommend is Billy Doe Meats, and then Dry Lakes Ranch, as well as US Wellness Meats. So write those down, check them out. They are fantastic online farms. Okay, let's keep going. So many of you guys love the trailer. It is so good. Just wait until the documentary is out. Stay up to date by following Carrie and Adam, guys. I'm going to make sure it's linked down below in the description box if you're watching on my channel. So I see a question from Melissa. She says, how can I tell my family that I'm carnivore? What do you reckon, Carrie?
Tell them the truth. Maybe give it a little time. That might help too, because a lot of people will see healing. I've talked to so many people that have noticed healing within 3 weeks. Not that everything's healed, but something noticeable. But I would give it a little time and just have an honest conversation with them. There are reasons for doing it. And they're probably going to have questions, rightfully so. I think all of us had questions when we started carnivore, but a lot of those questions are already asked and answered if you do the research online. So if they come to you with questions, you can look for those resources online and make sure you can answer the questions to help them out. But that's what I would do.
Yeah. How did you tell your family, Adam?
Well, I'm a Band-Aid ripper, so I just told everybody this is how I'm eating. Obviously, along with that, I had a heavy dose of patience and grace, because understanding that most everybody comes from a different perspective, and they believe in the food pyramid. So it's going to be very hard to convince them that this is a proper way to eat.
I love those answers. But I also understand, guys, especially if you're in college, you're in school, you feel almost embarrassed a little bit and ashamed that you're not eating salad, you're not eating vegetables like your classmates or friends. It's okay to keep it under the table. I understand. And what is the most powerful feeling that I experienced is I focused on my health. I focused on just healing and putting myself first, to the point where when I started getting results, when my skin started to glow, when my hair started to get shinier and shinier, people notice without you even having to open your mouth. And so I want you guys to put your health journey and healing first before even thinking about telling anyone. And I promise you, with enough time, people will notice and they will come to you and ask you for advice. And that's just the best feeling ever. Without having to push your ways on other people, them coming to you, that's the ultimate goal. So just stay up to date, watch more videos like this, go to everybody's live streams, and just stay on track. That's the best thing you can do for yourself and your future. Share Bear, why do doctors discourage a diabetic to be on carnivore? Any of you guys diabetic or before going carnivore or dealt with prediabetes?
I was not. I think I was pre-diabetic before. And actually, one of the reasons that convinced me to go carnivore was watching Dr. Barry's video, How to Reverse Type 2 Diabetes. And I was amazed at the comments I read on that video. There were thousands of comments of people saying, Dr. Barry, you saved my life. My A1C was this, and now it's this. It is unfortunate that some doctors discourage a diabetic to be carnivore. But I'll tell you what, out of all of the people I've interviewed on YouTube and through the documentary, it's a no-brainer. It's a guarantee. There's like no guarantees in life, right? There's guarantees. If you are diabetic and you go carnivore, you will reverse it if you're eating a proper human diet. I've seen it over and over and over again. I always thought it was just this thing that people get and it's a fluke and you're genetic and this is just something you're stuck with, and it's not true. I've heard it over and over and over again.
And Carrie, I think you guys got a super chat, so maybe we can put that up.
Yeah. Hack and Slack. My 11-year-old son recently is suffering from anxiety, and I think trying carnivore has great potential, but how do I motivate him?
I can jump in real quick with that one. Make a really good
Yes.
ribeye.
I love that. And how does one make a really good ribeye?
Go to Carrie's house.
Smoke it.
He makes
Smoke
the
it low and
best.
slow. Yeah. I would just
Yeah.
add to that, as we said earlier, this is my favorite advice from Dr. Baker. Be an example. Be an example to your son, but also be honest with him. Sometimes there's the motivation like, this is my child, just trust me, do this. But if you explain the reasons behind it and educate them, I think they're far more likely to have them succeed. And also be patient, because I'm so surprised my girls are all eating a proper human diet, and a couple of them I never would have thought in a million years, but eventually they saw the healing and they came around. And so some of it, I think you have to be patient as well.
Absolutely. I think your advice of be the example there's no better way. So when mom and when dad eats a certain way and they're cooking in the kitchen and they bring in the kids to cook the same recipes and have fun together, it just becomes a part of your life and your daily routine. And they don't ask questions. They don't feel like they're being restricted or put in a box. And hey, I recommend watching all of the young carnivores. There's so many now on YouTube, including Carrie's daughter. She's such a great content creator. So watch the young ones, watch it with your son. I think it's going to really help him feel motivated to do it.
Absolutely. All right.
Awesome. So I'll read the next one. I'm sure it's going to be hard to locate, but this is from a Japanese username. I have tried keto a couple times, but I get a rash and stop. What is the best approach to start carnivore? I got those rashes. So it could be oxalate dumping, or it could just be your body detoxing, because your body wants to get rid of all of the toxins and the plants and all of the things that are irritating your skin. I don't know if you're starting carnivore with already skin issues, but whether or not you are struggling with skin issues, if you are getting rashes, you're getting itchy skin, maybe try reintroducing some black tea, or put some lemon juice on all of your meals, or have it on the side or in your water. The point of this is to bring back some of the oxalates so that the oxalate dumping symptoms that include rashes, by the way, can get a little bit less harsh and terrible. So try that and let us know if it works. Okay, next we've got Alice. So Alice says, I'm desperate to kick my sugar habit. Help. If there were a sugar inpatient facility, I would commit myself. Carrie, why don't you take this?
Yeah, this is me. I was a sugar addict. I am a sugar addict as well. My best advice is commit to doing carnivore and do it strict. And I'm not saying that to try to discourage people, but a lot of people I see, they'll start carnivore. They say, I'm going to do this for 30 days, but then they keep their diet soda or their artificial sweeteners, or they have a little cheat day on Saturday. And you're just going to perpetuate those cravings to sugar. If you completely abstain from it, you'll get to a point where it's gone forever. People often say to us carnivores, like, I don't know how you can do carnivore. And if you've been doing it for a while, most people's response is, it's actually the easiest thing in the world. But I get it. It's hard when you first start and you have to get over that sugar habit. So my advice would be to abstain 100%. Don't leave a little bit of anything. Even those artificial sweeteners would trigger me, I know for sure. And just commit. Like, what really helped me was keeping a log and writing things down and saying, 60 days is better, but if you can only commit to 30, I'm going to do this for 30 days. Write down what you eat every single day and be really strict. And if you get to day 25 and you're having bad cravings, you can look back and be like, I don't want to throw all of that away. The last thing I'll say real quick too is, if you're having cravings after you've been doing this for a while, oftentimes it's because you're not consuming enough fat. So bacon is a really good go-to for some people if you can tolerate bacon, or you're probably just not getting enough fat if you're having some cravings and things like that. So take a closer look at that as well.
Great advice. Anything you wanted to add, Adam, to the sugar?
Yeah, I could have said it better, but another component to that is also the mindset portion. So at least for me, I always viewed sugar as poison. So I always tell myself that and try to reprogram my mind that this is actually poisonous. It's not meant for human consumption. So that helped me out quite a bit. Every time I see a donut or I see a cake, or you go to a party and there's treats there, that's poison. That's not for me. So that definitely helped me out for sure.
I love that. So I heard from Dr. Lisa Wiedemann, and she's like the sugar and carb addiction expert in the carnivore community, that the opposite of addiction is community. And so I really want to shout out your guys' community. You guys have a Healing Humanity community where you do Zoom calls, where you meet, and you guys do so many in-person meetups. So talk about your community and your in-person meetups.
Oh, thank you. I'll leave that to Adam because Adam is the spearhead behind the community.
So it's interesting that you bring that up right after an addiction question, because Linda Boki, that's on our team, that also has the video on histamine intolerance. She actually wrote a book inside of our group, healinghumanity.life, that's called Breaking Addiction. So it's the 12-step program, the proven 12-step program, but applied in a keto/carnivore way. So 0 carbs. So we're not talking about Overeaters Anonymous, which is also built on the 12-step. This is actually built on 0 carbs. So we're not trying to restrict calories and restrict people from eating. We're trying to promote them to eat in a good, positive way, eat the healthy fats and eat the proteins and break their addictions in that way. So that's sort of unique to what we offer. But our community is similar to yours, SBG, and you get in there, you're going to learn how to do carnivore the proper way. You're going to have social time with others and connect with others, which is so important. And that's why SBG has been so important for the carnivore community, for thousands and thousands of people. We hear it all the time. So yeah, that's basically the gist of what our project is. And it was really started as a way to group answer people, because people were so fired up about the documentary. They send us dozens and dozens of questions a day, and we just don't have time to answer them all. So
right.
Totally.
I just wanted to add real quick too. I appreciate you shouting that out, Bella. And likewise, I want to shout out what you're doing with SBG. I think I mentioned this to you before, but SBG was a big part of my wife's journey. The reason that we're excited to have you in the documentary as well is because your story, I mean, eating plants and going from that to carnivore, you sharing that story, I think, has inspired so many people. And in particular, I get to name 2. You mentioned my daughter, Emma, earlier. She was vegan for almost 5 years. And who else is she going to look up to? Like, this person has gone from plants only to meat, and she was able to watch you. And so was my wife, Jen. And SBG was a big part. Your group was a big part of my wife, Jen, starting carnivore. She started and she kind of fell off, and then she started again. And it was the community. Like, it's so important having that community. So thank you for that. And thank you for sharing your story in the documentary too, because we're just force fed this all the time, that the only way to be healthy in this world is to eat plants. And clearly that's not true for many people. So that's why we're excited to share your story in the documentary.
I'm just absolutely honored. Thank you for having me in the first place. And thank you for having these conversations and being bold enough to talk about it. It's amazing. So thank you. Beer says, I started 5 months ago. I'm down 40 pounds and I had a goal of 200 by today, but I've been 206 for almost a month. I've been eating 1 ribeye or wings once a day. What am I doing wrong? I'll take this because I spot the red flag immediately. You're eating too little. You're under eating. I don't care how heavy you guys are. I don't care how much weight you guys want to lose. Please unlearn the move more, eat less mentality. You do not need to move more. You do not need to eat less. In fact, it's probably why your weight is stalling. So I would challenge you, if you're up for it, to eat more. Can you not do 1 meal a day for a couple days? Do you feel brave enough to eat 2 meals a day, 1 ribeye for the first meal, second meal, a couple of wings, or maybe a pound or 2 pounds? Don't be afraid to eat. I have seen this too many times where stalls have happened. Weight is not budging. Once you eat a little bit more, the stall is broken. Okay, so just something to consider. All right, let's keep going. Okay, I think this is Dr. Marnie next. What are your thoughts about coffee as well as coffee with real cream? I've heard a variety of perspectives. Adam, do you drink coffee?
I do. I'm trying to quit, and I'm one of those people that believe that it's totally personal preference. If the caffeine doesn't affect you, it is sort of a neurotoxin, and it is made from roasted plant embryos. So if that doesn't bother you, I say go for it. But technically, it's not really a carnivore food. Some people have issues with cream. I would say probably more people have issues with cream than know about it. So that's definitely one to look out for.
How about you, Carrie?
Yeah, I was never a coffee drinker. I was addicted to diet soda, so I don't, but I know lots of carnivores that do. I think one thing that seems reasonable is if you're going to start carnivore and you're trying to quit a whole bunch of stuff, for some people, they're able to keep the coffee in for a while, and maybe if they had to give up everything plus the coffee, they would have failed. So there's that argument. But I've seen a lot of people that feel so much better when they give up everything, including the coffee and the cream. So it's probably a good long-term goal for most people.
Yeah, it's definitely an experiment worth experimenting with. I mean, you hear people like Dr. Anthony Chaffee rave about when you cut out the coffee, you don't experience soreness after going to the gym. Like that is so fascinating. I've cut out the coffee before. I'm not one of those unicorns where when I cut it out, my life got better. So I drink coffee every day still. But here's one rule that has changed my life. Coffee after eating a high fat carnivore anything really changes the game for me. I don't get jitters. I don't get that 2 p.m. crash. The energy is constantly there, stable, and amazing. So something to consider doing as well. Okay, Amor says, my mother's trying to heal breast cancer that metastasized to her hip bone. Is carnivore able to help her? How can I convince her to try carnivore? She thinks red meat causes cancer. Well, Carrie and Adam, you both have interviewed multiple times Professor Thomas Seyfried. What have you guys learned from him?
Yeah, we never were going to have cancer in the documentary, and I'm so thankful that we did. It's a huge part of the documentary and the series afterwards. My best advice I give people is the work that Professor Seyfried has been doing, cancer as a metabolic disease. He's been talking about this for 30 years now, and Otto Warburg goes back 100 years that sugar feeds on glucose, or cancer feeds on sugar and glucose. My advice for people is I never realized how accessible Professor Seyfried is. He's given me permission to say this before. You could just do it. You can actually Google Professor Thomas Seyfried, Boston College. His contact information comes up. It's for him and his team. And you can email him and tell him the particular type of cancer you have, and they will send you a pamphlet of information specific to you that will explain better cancer as a metabolic disease with metabolic treatment. That would be one piece of advice. The other thing I would suggest is there's an excellent documentary called Cancer Evolution, and it gets into the science behind cancer as a metabolic disease, and it explains it brilliantly. So that would be another thing that I would explore more. It's really hard sometimes to just try to convince someone or tell someone, but if you can show them another story or another documentary or another example of an individual that's thriving with that same situation, I think you're more likely to inspire them.
Adam, anything you want to add?
Not really. I think Carrie basically covered the whole gambit with that. Yeah, glucose, glutamines, the two main primary fuel sources for cancer. And, there's not much that carnivore cannot potentially help. We do believe that it's a proper human diet, and it's going to help. It's going to help give your body the building blocks to do what it needs to do and heal in the way that it needs to heal. So in this particular situation with the cancer, we're not sure exactly how far the cancer has gone, and there's probably other health modalities that they're going to have to research and go through. But carnivore is not the cure-all for everything, but it definitely can give your body the right fuel to heal in the proper way.
I want Amor, if you're still watching, I want you to know that there is so much hope when cancer is involved. You don't even have to do strict carnivore. And I'll bring up my own father. He battled pancreatic cancer for the last 8 years, but he stays cancer-free with an animal-based diet. So diet absolutely does play a huge role in not only fighting cancer, preventing cancer, but staying cancer free after you've had it. So I want you to look into Thomas Seyfried, go find his email, like try to contact his team. That's amazing advice. And then watch all of the videos that Healing Humanity have posted on YouTube. There's so many interviews that Thomas always says yes to, and it's just amazing information. You must watch it. Okay, let's do a rapid fire in these last few minutes. What do you do for vitamin C? I'll take this. Eat more meat. Okay, let's keep going. Chris, 1 year carnivore, just had labs done. Total cholesterol is 245. Okay, triglycerides 118, HDL 64. Doctor put me on statins. Any suggestions? I feel the best I've ever felt in a long time. You're joining a whole community of people who literally are experiencing the same thing. What would you say, Carrie?
Do some more research, particularly on statins. Dr. David Diamond has an excellent presentation on those. Dr. Ovadia talks about it as well. It's not the quantity of your cholesterol that you should be worried about, it's the quality. And if you do a basic lipid panel, they're not going to get into the quantity. Dr. Ovadia advocates for getting an advanced lipid panel done, or like I recently did on the advice of Dr. Ovadia, get a CAC scan done. I got mine done. It cost me $50 out of pocket. Took 15 minutes. My score was 0, despite my sort of alarming basic lipid panel cholesterol numbers. So, and Dr. Ovadia told me that's almost like a warranty or guarantee for 15 years that you're not going to have heart disease. So there's other tests you can do to explore it more. I'd really recommend that, especially knowing there are a lot of detrimental side effects to statins that nobody really talks about, and they're significant. And the last thing I'll say is when you learn the true stats, and these are stats from the statin companies, 1 out of 100 people see a benefit from a statin. 99 out of 100 people that take statins, oftentimes for the rest of their lives, see 0 benefit. You guys can Google that. You can research it. That's an actual number from the statin companies. And that's one of the better numbers. So imagine taking a medication for the rest of your life where only 1 out of 100 people see benefit. 99 people are taking it for no reason, having potential side effects. There's also studies coming out about dementia, Alzheimer's, and statins playing into those things. But it's so hard to identify because they're putting everybody on statins. And they're like, well, they're older, they're getting dementia or Alzheimer's, but they're also all on statins. So I would encourage you to do some more research with some of those, Dr. David Diamond, Dr. Ovadia in particular.
Fantastic. Thank you, Carrie. Royal Flush wants to know that, so I work 12-hour days, no lunch break. I eat in my truck. Apart from biltong and jerky, what are my non-refrigerated options? That's a great question. I mean, I would add carnivore bars. Carnivore bars they've been around for a very long time, and they have literally helped so many people stick to carnivore because you don't need to refrigerate it. It is a very dense brick of fuel. Any ideas, Carrie and Adam?
That's what I was going to say. Carnivore bars, or make your own pemmican, summer sausage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Okay. Any meetups in the near future? Had the pleasure meeting Bella and others a year ago in Wyoming, and love meeting others in the carnivore community. Yay! I wish I could see your face. I don't recognize Team NA1, but nice to meet you in Wyoming. Carrie and Adam, any meetups?
What's the next one, Adam?
We'll all be at Hack Your Health speaking. So there you go. November.
Yeah, come out and see us there. We're going to have several people from the documentary do a little bit of a panel talking about the project. But yeah, looking forward to Hack Your Health and then Meat Stock next year.
That's well. That's right. Yeah. So Hack Your Health is in mid-November. So put that in your calendar. Check it out. I think it should be linked down below in my description box. And you can use the discount code CARNIVORE for $100 off your ticket. I will say that convention is just the best, most beautifully run convention when it comes to a convention that supports a carnivore diet. And all of the big carnivore voices and creators go. My team and I are going. Healing Humanity are going. So it's actually probably the best one to go to next. And it's in Tampa, Florida. So check it out. Okay, let's keep going. Last one. My pant size went, same question, just reworded. Okay, I just want to do one more. Let me see. There's so many comments that I really cannot find which are questions. How about carnivore with 1 meal a day for weight loss? I touched on this earlier, but Share Bear, 1 meal a day works great if your hormones are happy and healed. I want to put that as a preface because I see too many times the mistake being made of someone so excited to go carnivore. They heard all these great things about 1 meal a day, intermittent fasting, maybe from the ketogenic community, and they combine both. And then their hair starts falling out. And then their energy tanks and their sleep is poor. I want you guys to focus on just healing and feeling good and nourishing first. In my opinion, that requires at least 2 meals a day. So do the 1 meal a day after you've reached that beautiful spot of, wow, my energy's great, my sleep is great, everything's on point. Then do 1 meal a day and keep us posted. Okay, so I want to wrap up one more time for those who maybe jumped in the live stream a little bit late. In the beginning of this live stream, we showed the new trailer of the Healing Humanity documentary. If you guys can just share again how we can support you, maybe put up the QR code one more time and any updates, any announcements, how can we support?
Yeah, the best way to support us is just visit healinghumanity.movie and you can see the trailer there. If you didn't catch it earlier, you can share it. That's the best thing. It's free. You can just share it on social media, get the word out to others. We have a free email newsletter there you can sign up for. We'll let you know when the next trailer drops and when the documentary is done if you sign up for our newsletter. And if you purchase any of our merchandise, like our Healing Humanity shirt, every penny from that goes towards the documentary. Come out to some of our meetups, share your story. I don't think I can put the QR code up, but it's just healinghumanity.movie. Did I miss anything, Adam?
You did not, Carrie. You got it all, brother.
Fantastic. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Adam. All the links are updated under my description box. Hit refresh and go follow and support. Thank you.
Thank you, Bella. Appreciate it.
Anytime.